Hey guys, Professor Fat Shady here with a bit of a Reddit request. I was contacted by a guy called, and I'll just get it up on the screen now, a guy called Duke of Broccoli, and he's talked about a particular track called Mind the Gap, and he's basically said that there's a particular jump where you need to jump over water, and he's having trouble with it. He thinks the cause of the problem is his bunny hop, but he's not entirely sure. Interestingly, he says that he's watched a stack of replays of people doing very well on the track, and a stack of replays of people doing very poorly on the track, and specifically this obstacle, but hasn't seen anyone that actually explains it. And that's exactly what I want the University of Trials to be about, where we can actually explain to people what's going on. Slow it down, just talk about one obstacle if we have to, and I'll spend 10 minutes on an obstacle if I think it'll help you get through it. So let's get the Duke of Broccoli stuff off the screen, and now let us talk about the particular jump. Pit Viper, of course, it's a hard track, wouldn't do it with anything else except the rabbit if you're really adventurous, but let's start with this. Alright, so I'm just going to get through to the jump. Now the funny thing is, there's two different obstacles I think he's talking about. And unfortunately, as it was just a random, Reddit message, let me see if I can nail this first, because if you get this right, yeah, that's nice. Rubbish. I wasn't able to clarify which jump it is. I think it's one of two. The first one I'm going to explain is this one. The second one is a few checkpoints further ahead. If you're talking about the bunny hop as being your issue, what I would strongly suggest you do is really just practice. Get onto a track. This may not be the most ideal place, but try and get onto a track where you've got a bit of space to just practice your bunny top 100 times and just see how high up your ramp you can get, or how high. Try and find a marking that you can measure your bunny hop and see how far you can get. Any of those little things, playing around like that will ensure that you'll be able to clear bigger gaps easier when you need to. For the purposes of a bunny hop, the key is, and if you have a look here, when I bounce around on the bike here, you have a look at the rear of the bike and relative to the back wheel. You can actually see that my body weight is actually compressing that back spring down. And the whole idea of a bunny hop is to build up potential energy in that rear spring. It's a physics-based game, so the suspension in the bike actually matters. And by doing this, you can actually get a bunny hop. So look at this, even without accelerating or using anything but this, I'm able to do a bunny hop. Look at this. Look at that. I can fully get the bike off the ground. Sorry if you hear my controller banging around. But I can actually get the bike off the ground through nothing more than just the rider's body weight. So you can see that it has a big impact. What you want to do for a bunny hop, sorry, I had too much fun doing that. What you want to do for a bunny hop is try and have the rider's body weight either standing up or over the front of the handlebars. And then what you want to do is, at the same time that you accelerate, you also want to press hard to the left. This will ensure your body weight goes backwards. But then as soon as you do that and get that compression over the back springs, then you want to flick hard to the left and hard to the right again. And this will ensure that you carry that momentum forward instead of up or backwards. So let me just do a couple of quick examples here. Right, and look at that. Like if I just drive 100%, I sort of end up upside down. If I drive forward like this, it kind of works, but you lose it. Doing the bunny hop, there we go, and then you sit down. Now, I'm not sure, Duke of Broccoli, if you're... Actually, do you know what? Maybe this is your issue. If this is the obstacle you're talking about, maybe the issue here is you're trying to stop from one to the other. This obstacle is designed for you to transition between the two, and actually between the three, over to the checkpoint. And if you don't, I think you're going to be having some troubles. So, what I need you to be doing is bunny hop to the first one, right? When you land, now this is the key part, all these bikes get their power from the rear wheel. The front wheel's passive. So what you want to do is, as you land, and this is a very important technique to understand. As you land, the rear wheel needs to land on the ramp first, and ideally you want to be seated down over the bike, right? But the split second that you land on the ramp, you want to transfer your body weight forward. And what this will do is ensure that rather than doing a backflip and all that power sort of making you flip, what it will do is ensure that all of your power continues up the ramp and over to the next jump. Now if you watch this, now unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do this in slow motion with these live replays. This is where the University of Trials with all the editing and stuff actually makes it a bit easier to explain. But let me just show you here. So bunny hop there. And that's across. I didn't want to get the checkpoint there. But bunny hop again. Alright, so I hit with the rear wheel down, but then I push forward to carry myself across. And even though these are messy ones. See? See, if I had to give you a lesson, that would be it. Hopefully that's been helpful. Now I'm going to go to the next obstacle, which you may may or may not be actually talking about here. So forgive me if I've got this wrong. Maybe I've just wasted 3 minutes 57 seconds. I also think that this is the one you're talking about. Now this is another one of these gaps where if I go right to the back and if I don't bunny hop, I'm not going to make it. That's very intentional. The developers know that you, and they actually don't want you to progress past this point without being able to do a bunny hop. Okay? If you haven't been able to properly figure out how to do a bunny hop by this point, they effectively want you to stop, figure it out before you progress. Because if you try and get onto the extreme tracks, you're going to have no hope without knowing the technique. Now that I've taught you a bit about the bunny hop, it's the exact same technique. So start from wherever you need to start accelerating, and as you get close to the edge of the ramp, press your body weight hard to the left firstly, not like that, hard to the left firstly, and then hard to the right as soon as you get the momentum going. So there we go, left, right. And the tricky part, and this is the other part, if you land on this section, you need to be able to know how to land and steady yourself on an uphill slope. A very important technique, and if you haven't figured it out, you're again going to have a lot of trouble. So let's try this one more time. Alright, the bunny hop I've explained, standing up ideally so you can get some extra compression, accelerate. But then that's the other tricky part, is that what you want to do is as you're in midair, you want the body weight and you want to push down and then use the throttle very gently. So you want to land again, back wheel has to land first, and then as you land on the uphill slope here, you want to just gently feather the throttle, and you should be able to just stand here. Like, I can stay here all day now if you wanted to, and that's the kind of level of throttle control you need to have. Now remember, these triggers on these controllers are analog. You have the ability to gently press them to only put 5, 10, 20% throttle, which is what you need to sort of stand on a slope like this. So, look, Duke of Broccoli, I hope that's the sort of pointers you want to be looking for. If it's not, forgive me. Rubbish here. But yeah, by all means, if there's anything else you need, or anyone else out there that watches this and got a particular obstacle in mind, send us a message. The comments on YouTube is probably the easiest, but all my details are on the side of the panel here. So yeah, if you've got any information or any questions you've got about any aspect of the game, or just want to watch me fault, that's fine. Subscribe, like, do all that stuff, and I'll make some more of these. Thanks, guys.